Ben Sabini. Vinicius, he was the man in space. His effort was very well blocked by Nico Elvedi. Corner kick. And a scorpion effort there by Rafael Varane. Cleared away by Stindl. Now with Plea. To Stindl again. Lovely crossfield ball that by Liner. Niehaus to Stindl. To Kramer. Monchengladbach keeping hold of possession inside the Real Madrid half. Few 1-2s between Niehaus and Elvedi. Now coming forward is Hoffman, finding Liner. Puts the ball in towards Plea, but it would have taken something special for him to control that pass. Intercepted by Varane, and his clearance will go out of play for a throw-in to Monchengladbach just inside their own half. It remains Borussia Monchengladbach 0, Real Madrid 0. The Spanish side, though, are beginning to turn the screw against the Germans. They've carved out a load of opportunities. A good pass by Lucas to find Benzema, who took it on the chest, and then on the half volley, his effort went just over the crossbar. Another cross from Lucas Vazquez found Vinicius. His shot from around 8 yards out was brilliantly blocked by Matheus Ginter, who also managed to block a Casemiro effort from 25 yards out just a few minutes later. Another cross from Lucas Vazquez from the right-hand side found Sergio Ramos, who rose highest and glanced his header wide when he really should have at least got it on target, you feel. And Vinicius broke into the area after a lovely bit of dribbling by Marco Asensio. His shot, though, was again blocked, this time by Nico Elvedi. No real chances from the Germans to tell you about. They haven't really been able to carve out anything of note, so it remains Monchengladbach 0, Real Madrid 0. Mendy going back towards Sergio Ramos. Will hold it up and get away from Stindl. Back now towards Thibaut Courtois. There's a 1-2 with Varane. Now to Ramos on the left-hand side. Toni Kroos. Here is Vazquez trying to find Asensio, but it's a good sliding interception by Ben Sabini, the Algerian. Zinedine Zidane looking stern in the Madrid dugout. Mendy to Vinicius. Back to Kroos. Now finding Varane again. There's a 1-2 with Lucas Vazquez. Vinicius has just been fouled there by Liner. So it's going to be a free kick for Real Madrid. There's another goal to tell you about in the Championship, and Barnsley have gone 3-0 up now against QPR. It's an own goal by Johan Barber, who has gifted Barnsley that third in that one. Have to retake that free kick. Wasn't happy with that. Orel Grinfeld didn't want it to be taken too quickly. Kroos towards Asensio. Drifts into the centre of the pitch. Will find Mendy. Plenty of people to aim for in the box if we can get across in. It's well blocked though by Hoffman on the right hand side. So it'll be a corner kick for Real Madrid again. Toni Kroos, who else will come over and take this? And Sergio Ramos and Rafael Varane will like to be the main targets. Benzema as well. There's good height and physicality to aim for as Kroos goes towards the back post, towards Casemiro. Actually, he was there. And the ball is scrambled here by Stindl, but they're going to have to stop anyway, as I think there's a clash of heads between Casemiro and Matthias Ginter. Back onto his feet. Yeah, it's going to be a sore one, clash of foreheads. Whenever Asensio has got the ball, he has looked very, very dangerous. Unfortunately, he hasn't really been involved as much as maybe Zinedine Zidane would have liked. Varane in possession for Madrid, though, inside his own half. Towards Vasquez. 67% possession at the moment for Real Madrid. Really have been the side in the ascendancy. Ramos. To Kroos, held up by Hoffman. Good interception though by Liner. Then Kramer going for the outside of the boot pass towards Player. Easily cut out by Casemiro. Will now find Vasquez. Valverde. Good play this by Real Madrid. Asensio to Benzema. He's flooding forward. Benzema onto the overlap for Vasquez, who aims to put the ball in towards the back post for Valverde. Above his head. It'll fall to Mendy though. Mendy to Toni Kroos, who shapes up to go for goal, and it's a good save by Jan Sommer, getting down to his left-hand post. Kroos just had that half a yard of space on the edge of the area where he is so dangerous. Didn't really go for a power, although I think he actually knuckles the ball in the end with his side foot. So a lovely effort by the German, aiming for the bottom right-hand corner. Kroos whips the ball in. Benzema gets the header but can't generate enough power, and it's going to be another simple save for Jan Sommer. So Sommer will take the kick and go along towards Thuram, who takes it down the chest. Dispossessed by Vasquez. Kramer picks it up. He loses out though to Benzema. Kroos is there now to find Vinicius. Benzema supporting the far side if he can find Asensio, but in the end it's really well blocked by Hoffman. Benzema then finds Asensio on the second time of asking. On the edge of the area, Asensio goes for goal. He's got completely underneath that, and that's going to go again now to play for another goal kick. Really making things difficult for the home side at the moment. Almost half an hour gone now. The scoreline remains goalless. But all the chances for Real Madrid. But here come Monchengladbach now with a rare opportunity. Coming forward is Hoffman. Breaks into the area. His effort is blocked, but finally the offside flag has gone up. So even if he was able to get that shot away, it wouldn't have counted. And it's the right decision as well, from the wrong side of Sergio Ramos. A couple more goals to tell you about in the Champions League. First things first, Ajax have taken the lead away against Atalanta. Dusan Tadic scoring from the penalty spot, and Atletico Madrid have also taken the lead against Red Bull Salzburg through Marcos Llorente. So goals beginning to arrive around the grounds, and with the way Real Madrid are playing, probably say they're not too far away from one of their own, as Ginter makes a clearance for Midtjylland towards Player, headed away by Ramos, who's been caught there, and it's going to be a free kick by the looks of things. Ramos doing well to draw that foul in. Mendy takes it quickly and finds Casemiro. Valverde over to Asensio. Back to Vasquez. Now with Asensio. Whips the ball in. Good block though by Ben Sabini. Rafael Varane. Inwards towards Toni Kroos. Can't find Ramos though. Picked up by Hoffman. And then Kroos is there with the interception. Varane makes another headed clearance. Now Player will try and get away from Ramos. Possible opportunity here for Monchengladbach. Lovely ball by Player. Opportunity. Thuram! Oh, it's the opening goal completely against the run of play. It's a fantastic through ball by a Player to find Thuram just on the wrong side of Lucas Vazquez. First time effort, side-footed into the top right-hand corner. Marcus Thuram with a brilliant finish there. And it's their first shot that they've had in the game. And they are now 1-0 up. Well, first blood has been drawn and it's against the run of play. It's gone to Borussia Monchengladbach. They're now 1-0 up against Real Madrid. They were caught in possession inside their own half. Player picked it up and played a brilliant through ball in between the gap of Ramos and Varane. Thuram was lurking on the edge of Lucas Vazquez's left shoulder, and a first time side-footed finish into the top right hand corner. No chance for Thibaut Courtois, and the Germans take the lead. That is absolutely brilliant from Marcus Thuram. Opportunistic, to say the least. How will Real Madrid react to that? That is the question. VAR are just having a look at this for possible offside. Yet to see a replay as of yet. Considering I haven't seen a replay, that may indicate that it is going to be okay. Rose is making indications to the fourth official when Zinedine Zidane that it was close. The check is now over and it has been confirmed that it does remain a goal. So it could be another shock on the cards, and Real Madrid could be in real danger of not progressing from their group. Here is Ramos. To Varane. Just a few 1-2s between the two Madrid centre-backs. Now with Casemiro. Over towards Vazquez on the right hand side. Here's Asensio. Overlap in Vazquez. He whips the ball in. Scrambled away by Elvedi. Stindl's also there to help out. And he'll find the goal scorer Marcus Thuram. Stindl goes on the overlap. Tries to go for the through aiming towards Player, but it's a good interception by Valverde. He will now find Karim Benzema. Back now with Mendy. Close. Long ball towards Vazquez. Casemiro back to Vazquez. Here's Varane to Ramos. Finding Mendy. Chip ball over towards Vinicius. It's been fouled there by Liner. No, says Oral Grinfeld. A long ball clearance will find Player, who tries to get away from Varane, who's done well to utilise his strength. Plays it back towards Courtois. We'll now find Sergio Ramos. The counter-attack looks very dangerous from Monchengladbach's point of view. They've got pace and power. Just got the stat on our screen. Real Madrid have had 10 shots, only 2 on target. Monchengladbach have just had that one. And it's the important one that currently separates the two sides. half-time whistles have gone in the Championship, so it's Blackburn 1, Reading 3, Brentford 1, Norwich 0, Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 0, Swansea 1, Stoke 0, Wycombe 0, Watford 0. All half-time confirmed scores. The latest going into the 80th minute in the other one is Barnsley 3, QPR 0. Vinicius just dispossessed by Liner, but that will go out of play though for a throw-in line with the penalty area on this left-hand side. Mendy to Vinicius, back to the Frenchman, who'll find Toni Kroos. To Valverde, spreads the ball towards Asensio. Watched by Thuram. Now with Vasquez. Goes for the 1-2 with Valverde. Benzabini's tackle was blocked though by Vasquez, who will keep hold of it. Now with Valverde in towards Asensio. Opportunity here. Asensio, good save by Sommer. It was a tight angle. Maybe a pass towards Benzema, who was waiting in the 6-yard box, was the better option there for Marco Asensio. That's really good goalkeeping by the Swiss number 1. Still pushing Real Madrid. Ball in. Headed clear. Kroos now to Vinicius. Tries to play it through the legs of Hoffmann, but it's good defending by the German, and Stindl will pick that up and find Plea, who will look to try and break forward. Finds Lars Stindl. Goes for the crossfield pass towards Marcus Thuram. That will swerve away from him though. Courtois can read that, and they'll break forward once more. And then it's Casemiro, who has been dispossessed in a good position. So Monchengladbach can pick that up again, as there's another goal in the Champions League. Ajax have doubled their advantage against Atalanta. Lassina Traore has slotted home in that one. So it's now Atalanta 0, Ajax 2. Should put them in second of their Group D, as it is still currently goalless between Liverpool and Midtjylland. Hoffmann picking up from Neuhaus. We'll find Stindl. Now over to Plea. Will get away from the lunging tackle of Varane. Looks for support. Eventually gets it in Liner. Now back with Hoffmann. And then Neuhaus finds Elvedi. Spreads it over towards Benzabini. Thuram. In towards Benzabini again. Tries to play it back towards Marcus Thuram, but the Algerian will pick it up again. Now Thuram will try and stand up Asensio, but is forced to go back towards Neuhaus. Liner to Hoffmann. No Monchengladbach players pressing to go into the area. They're focusing on keeping hold of possession for the time being. Ginter towards Elvedi. Just waits for pressure to come. Eventually gets it from Toni Kroos, who will now find Ginter. Hoffmann. Lovely turn there by Stindl, who seems to have been everywhere for Gladbach today. Elvedi. Finding Kramer. Back in towards Elvedi. Hasn't got much in the way of support, so we'll just knock that back towards Jan Sommer as a Red Bull Salzburg equalise against Atlético Madrid. Just waiting on confirmation of who has got that goal. Obviously that will be confirmed to you once we know. Ramos has it for Real Madrid, plays it towards Rafael Varane. Confirmed it was a Dominic Jabozlai who has got the goal for Salzburg. Varane towards Asensio on the right hand wing. Forced back by Marcus Thuram. Now with Varane. Vasquez does well to hold on to it and drift away from Stindl. Ramos to Mendy. Gets away from Hoffmann. Mendy, that's a poor pass by Mendy. He's gone behind Valverde, who's done well to track back and pick up possession again. Vasquez to Ramos. Back in for Vasquez. And Ramos will now find Varane on the halfway line. Over towards Asensio. It's a good shape at the moment being kept by Monchengladbach to keep Madrid passing it side to side. But that's a killer pass from Ramos to find Mendy. Mendy will now come forward for Madrid. He will find Valverde overlapping Vasquez. Vasquez, he tries to put the ball in towards the back post. It's completely overhit though by the Spaniard, and that's going to go out of play for a goal kick. But it's still Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0, coming towards the dying embers of the first half, and it's been very much more of the same. The goal came completely against the run of play initially, but Madrid have had all the possession and they haven't carved out a great deal. The only shot we've had since that goal was a through ball from Ernesto Valverde finding Marco Asensio, who got into the 6-yard box. His effort though from a very tight angle was saved by Jan Sommer. Maybe he should have played it across the box towards Karim Benzema. Madrid are having the possession, they're trying to push forward, but it's a good shape being held by the Germans at the moment, keeping them at bay. So going towards the half-time whistle, it remains Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. Varane in possession for Real Madrid, finding Vasquez towards Valverde. He's being watched by Elvedi. Vasquez tries to take it down the line, but can't keep it in play. Around a minute and a half remaining of the mandatory 45. I imagine we'll have 1, maybe 2 minutes of added time for the goal and the brief VAR check. Here is Mendy, turns away from Hoffman, tries to play it in towards Benzema, does well to get away from Hoffman, now finds Toni Kroos. Here's Vasquez, to Casemiro. Vasquez heads it up rather than towards anyone, but Valverde is there to mop up, gets into the area, trying to find Vinicius. His cross in takes a big deflection which eludes Benzema, and Sommer is there to pick up for his side. Sommer, don't think he's going to want to go short here. He's just going to pump this ball long. Thuram with a good take on the chest to find Neuhaus, who holds off Valverde and then has been hauled down there by Valverde. So it will be a free kick, just seeing the VAR check from earlier on, and it is quite clearly onside. Marco Rosas is going to be definitely the happier of the two managers, mainly for the defensive resolution. His side has shown, and it can confirm 1 minute that has been shown by the fourth official for added time, as the free kick is really, really poor. Trying to find Benza Binding on the left hand side. There was a Neuhaus there who was trying to chip it over. Ramos now for Real Madrid to Toni Kroos. Mendy back towards Ramos, who comes forward back to Ferland Mendy, holds off Stindl, who's just forced to toe poke the ball out of play. So Mendy will take the throw in. Finds Sergio Ramos. Ball over to Varane, and that is going to be the half-time whistle. Well, another shock could possibly be on the cards. We're going into the break. Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. We'll see you in the second half. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-footed it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-footed it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-footed it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-footed it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-footed it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-footed it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-footed it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-footed it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely ram in the penalty area. Didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. Half-time, and it's Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0. The goal coming completely against the run of play after Madrid were caught in possession inside their own half. Plie played a 1-2 with Hoffman and broke forward, played a lovely pass through the legs of Sergio Ramos and found Marcus Thuram in the penalty area, who didn't take a touch, side-fished it into the top left-hand corner past Courtois. Madrid have had all the possession, haven't really been able to beat the defence or Jan Sommer in the Monchengladbach goal. We'll leave that there because we are back underway for the second half between Borussia Monchengladbach and Real Madrid. It's 1-0 to the German side after the first period of 45 minutes. It's myself, William Maxwell, to take you through this second half, and it's taken 15 seconds for an error to come from Jan Sommer. And that has gone out for a corner kick. It's been whipped in. It's fallen to Asensio. Oh, it's tipped onto the crossbar by a mixture of Sommer and a header by, I believe that was Jonas Hoffman at the near post. There's still an attack on here for Madrid. Asensio whips the ball in, headed away again by Hoffman, and it'll be Alassane Plie who will pick that up and find Marcus Thuram for a possible counter-attacking opportunity here for Monchengladbach. The Frenchman trying to take on Lucas Vazquez, and does. Really good play by Thuram. He's got to the byline, tries to whip the ball in, but it's gone comfortably into the arms of Thibaut Courtois. So a very quick start to this game. To the second half, I should say. Here's Asensio. He loses out to Kramer. Now for Ginter from Mönchengladbach. Coming forward down the right-hand side is Stefan Leiner. Just good play there by the full-back. Just focusing on holding on to possession at the moment, the Germans. Bensebaini, shepherded back by Marco Asensio. We'll find Elvedi just goes back to his goalkeeper, Jan Sommer. Bensebaini now with Elvedi again. Again, it's gone to Sommer. He'll go for the long ball after pressure from Federico Valverde. And they've lost possession back to Real Madrid. There's been no subs at the half-time interval. So it's as we were for Borussia Mönchengladbach. It's Jan Sommer in goal, Stefan Leiner, Matthias Ginter, Nico Elvedi and Rami Bensebaini in defence, Jonas Hoffman, Christoph Kramer and Florian Neuhaus in the midfield three. Lars Stindl just ahead of them with Marcus Thuram and Alassane Plie up top. For Real Madrid, it's Thibaut Courtois in goal, Mendy, Sergio Ramos, Rafael Varane and Lucas Vazquez in the back four. Federico Valverde, Casemiro and Toni Kroos, the midfield three with Marco Asensio, Vinicius Junior supporting Karim Benzema up top. Vinicius in possession for Los Blancos. Here is Mendy. Does really well to get away from Leiner. Back to Vinicius. His cross is well blocked by Kramer. Vinicius will pick that ball back up, finds Mendy into the area. He puts the ball in dangerously. Asensio's shot blocked again, this time by Nico Elvedi, turning it over the crossbar for another Real Madrid corner kick. Piling on the pressure. Here is Asensio. The corner kick was completely overhit. Valverde to Casemiro. Valverde turns away from Midtjylland with ease, breaks into the penalty area, puts the ball in. Effort by Vinicius. I think he may have kicked it into his own foot there, the Brazilian. Frustrated with himself. Seeing replay here, was far too easy for Valverde to get away from Rami Bensebaini there. Yeah, and Vinicius just doesn't get his foot round it. Sort of chips it wide more than anything. Sommer goes short to Elvedi. Back to Sommer, who will pump that ball long. Coming towards Thuram, above his head, and that's going to get picked up by Lucas Vazquez. There's a couple more goals to tell you about. Watford have taken the lead against Wycombe through Ismaila Sarr. And Salzburg have just taken the lead against Atletico Madrid in what can be a big shock on the cards there as well. Mergin Berisha giving the Austrians the lead in that one. Which would, if the result stays that way, Atletico Madrid would be bottom of the table with 0 points from their opening 2 games. So just to run you through the latest scores in those leagues. So in the Championship, it finished Barnsley 3, QPR 0. The latest are Blackburn 1, Reading 3, Brentford 1, Norwich 0, Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 0, Swansea 1, Stoke 0, Wycombe 0, Watford 1. In the Champions League, the 2 early games finished Shakhtar Donetsk 0, Inter Milan 0, Lokomotiv Moscow 1 and Bayern Munich 2. And the latest ones are Atalanta 0, Ajax 2, Atletico Madrid 1, Salzburg 2, Porto 1, Olympiacos 0, Liverpool 0, Midtjylland 0, and Marseille 0, Manchester City 1. That's a hard tackle in there by Nico Elvedi, coming through the back of Lucas Vazquez there. A free kick has been given just on the byline, which they've taken short. Here's Casemiro. Another goal to tell you about in the Championship. Blackburn have pulled one back against Reading to make it Blackburn Rovers 2, Reading 3. We're just waiting on confirmation of the goal scorer in that one, as Hoffmann picks up the ball from Monchengladbach. Players done really well to beat close to it. Liner then can't find Neuhaus, so Mendy will come forward for Real Madrid. Vinicius to Kroos. Now with Valverde. Breaks forward, lovely dribbling there. Benzema. Confirm it was Adam Armstrong who's got his second of the game, and Blackburn's second as well. Casemiro to Valverde, back to Kroos. Valverde again on the left-hand wing. Kroos tries to float it into the area. It's overhit though. Bensebaini will chest that down and volley the ball away. Varane tries to put it back into a dangerous area. Vinicius tries to turn away from Ginton. There's an acrobatic clearance by Bensebaini. Thuram finds Stindl. Then Kramer will try and set off Marcus Thuram. Vazquez gets the header to it, and then Casemiro slides in and finds Asensio. Bensebaini's there. Bensebaini just plays a few 1-2s with Stindl before going back towards Elvedi. Now with Sommer. Floats the ball towards the left-hand wing, but it's overhit and misplaced. That'll go out of play for a throw-in for Real Madrid. So another goal goes in the Championship. Wycombe Wanderers have equalised against Watford. Just waiting again on that goal scorer to be confirmed to us, as Liner finds Hoffmann. Now with Kramer. Stindl tries to play it through to Liner again, but it's good play by Mendy to intercept, but then he loses out to Player. Bobbling around everywhere. Kramer plays a 1-2 with Thuram. We'll try and take it in. Crystal Kramer, lovely dribbling to get away from Vazquez. His effort is well blocked by Casemiro. Brilliant dribbling there by the holding midfielder. It was a half a chance that for Monchengladbach. Not normally known for his attacking dribbling ability. So corner kick for Monchengladbach, their first corner of the game. Can confirm it was Anthony Stewart that got the goal for Wycombe. Whipped into the area. Courtois tries to get up there, and he's dropped it, but he was fouled by Bentabini, so it will be brought back for a free kick. A couple more goals in the Champions League to tell you about. Atalanta have pulled a goal back against Ajax through Duvan Zapata, and Atlético Madrid have equalised against Red Bull Salzburg via João Felix's goal. Asensio finds Valverde. Tries to find Valverde again, but then it was a misplaced pass, and Hoffman was stumbling there, loses the possession. Then Asensio finds Cruz, but it's going to be a free kick for Monchengladbach. Lars Stindl just left a foot in on Marco Asensio, and he's going to be the first player put into the referee's notebook as well. So the Monchengladbach captain picks up a yellow card. Just a little bit late there, or else Stinfeld was not looking to keep the play going. There is now goals in all the kickoffs in the Champions League as Liverpool have taken the lead against Midtjylland through Diogo Jota. Ramos finding Rafael Varane. Asensio finding Vasquez. Looks to spread it over towards Vinicius. Liner does well to intercept. And then Hoffman was just bundled over there by Vinicius. Well on the edge of his area. So it's going to be a free kick for Monchengladbach. Chance to alleviate some of the ever-growing pressure. As expected, it's going to be Sommer that will take this. And he just chips it over towards Neuhaus. Now with Bentabini, finds Thuram, tries to give it back to Bentabini, who can move into a good position. Asensio will now find Toni Kroos and Valverde. He's being watched and he loses out. Casemiro's there to pick it up. Ramos finding Mendy. Comes back towards Sergio Ramos. Casemiro. Now with Rafael Varane to Vasquez. It's away from Bentabini. Now with Asensio, lovely dribbling there by Asensio with the back heel to find Valverde, but Valverde's pass is just too hard, can't find Lucas Vasquez. And that goes out of play for a throw-in for the home side. So it's still Borussia Monchengladbach 1, Real Madrid 0, and from the break, Real Madrid, they picked up as they left off really. They won a corner kick in the opening minute and it fell to Marco Asensio. His effort was tipped onto the crossbar by Jan Sommer. Vinicius put a cross in and Asensio's effort from around 6 yards out was well blocked over by Nico Alvedi. But Borussia Monchengladbach have also had chance of their own. A lovely bit of dribbling by Christoph Kramer. His effort was blocked in the end, as a ball is also whipped in by Konrad Laimer. The effort comes in from Plea. It's a good save by Thibaut Courtois. It's fallen back to Thuram. Is he onside here? Well, it may have been maybe 2-0. It looks like it is. Real Madrid have, I don't know what to say here. Real Madrid are 2-0 down. It's come again against the run of play. It's a breakaway opportunity. Thuram breaks forward, plays it through to Liner, who is onside. Looking at that replay, he whips the ball in. The effort on the volley comes from Alassane Plea. It's well saved from Courtois, but he spills it straight to Marcus Thuram, and it's Ferland Mendy that is playing him onside, and it's suddenly 2-0, and the shock is looking even more likely now. Was Borussia Monchengladbach 2, Real Madrid 0. It's another counter-attacking goal by the Germans. It was Liner who broke down the right-hand side. He put the cross in, and it fell to Alassane Plea. His effort on the volley was saved from Courtois, but he pushed it straight back into trouble. Fell to Marcus Thuram, who just side-foot it into the bottom corner. He was being played onside by Ferland Mendy. He was not quick to get out from defence, and despite having all the possession, Real Madrid find themselves 2-0 down, and they'll have to find a comeback from somewhere. So it's now Borussia Monchengladbach 2, Real Madrid 0. Oh, well, who would have predicted this? before the game started. Asensio is fouled by Neuhaus and wins a free kick for his troubles. Taking quickly, trying to find Lucas Vazquez. Bentabini's there to intercept. He'll try and find Alassane Plie, but Valverde's there to mop up. Here is Casemiro. He finds Kroos. His pass is blocked by Neuhaus, but it comes off the German again. And there'll be a throw-in for Monchengladbach midway inside their own half. Real snatch and grab at the moment from the Germans. They will not care how it's done, though. This will be a big win for them. Plie to Hoffman. Thuram back into Hoffman. Had a run in Bentabini, but decided just to cut back and hold on to possession. Thuram away from Casemiro, trying to get in from Vazquez. Vinicius turns away from Neuhaus. And then Benzema is tackled well by Elvedi. Here's Neuhaus again, who tries to chip over towards Plie, and there could be a third here for Monchengladbach. Plie, great save by Courtois, and it had to be made as well by the Belgian. Neuhaus plays it back into Stindl. Still opportunity here for Monchengladbach. It's Hoffman. He's been doubled up on by Ramos and by Kroos, and Hoffman squeezed in between the two. Lovely dribbling. He puts the cross in. Overhit though. It would be Thuram though that picks it up now for Monchengladbach. He waits for support. Plays it back towards Stindl. And Sabini's pass is blocked by Asensio, and then he makes the tackle back to knock it out of play. Could easily have been 3-0 there and possibly game over for Monchengladbach. Another replay of that opportunity. As good of a save it is by Courtois, Plie really should be scoring from that one-to-one opportunity. Cross whipped in, aiming towards Valverde again. Cleared this time by Elvedi. Just feel that if Real Madrid can get one, the entire complexion of the game could change again. Atalanta have equalised against Ajax to make it 2-2. Duvan Zapata getting his second of the game. Ginter finds Elvedi, who pokes it in towards Bentabini. Down the line, can't find Plie. Hoffman almost got on the end of it, but it's cleared away by Courtois. Elvedi takes on the thigh, then goes back towards Sommer. So just to boot it long, it goes above Marcus Thuram, but Plie can't keep it in play. Throw in taken quickly by Vazquez to try and get this attack going. 62 minutes gone. Borussia Monchengladbach 2, Real Madrid 0. Mendy to Ramos. Valverde to Casemiro. Ramos again. Mendy can't get the pass from Vinicius, and there'll be another counter-attack for Borussia Monchengladbach. Thuram away from Vazquez. Will try and utilise his pace. It's been hauled down there by Valverde. It's going to be a free kick, and you'd imagine Valverde's going to go into the referee's notebook as well for that. There's no need to grab at him there, Federico Valverde. Vazquez seemed to have had that covered. But Marcus Thuram's really made himself a nuisance in this game. Surprised that neither side have gone to the subs bench as he gets. Plie gets away from Vazquez in the area. He goes for goal. Takes a big deflection. That's going to be easily picked up by Thibaut Courtois. And Vinicius will try and utilise his pace down the left-hand side. Being watched by Stefan Leiner. Then holds off Hoffman and comes back towards Casemiro. Ramos. Now with Asensio. Ramos has continued his run into the penalty area. Asensio lays it off to Vasquez, who whips the ball in, aiming towards Benzema, headed away by Liner. Mendy. Support in Kroos. Mendy goes in towards Asensio, who will turn into trouble. Picked up by Kramer, but then he loses out. Valverde. Vinicius. Dangerous ball in. Can't find Asensio though, and Sommer is there to read and collect for his side. They're trying to pile on the pressure at the moment, Real Madrid, but nothing seems to be working for them. Stindl finds Marcus Thuram. Then, has he been fouled there by Valverde? No, says the referee. Play will resume. It's a poor touch though there by Hoffman. And then Pléa picks it up. And it'll be Liner that will come down this right-hand side. They're in no rush at the moment, the Germans. Pléa, through ball towards Stindl. Stindl, he'll go for goal. Oh, it's inches away from the right-hand post. Brilliant effort by the Monchengladbach captain. Went for a snapshot to catch the Belgian keeper off guard. And it is always curling away from the goal, which is a shame. But it's not far away at all. And suddenly, Monchengladbach are carving out opportunities to really kill this game off. Ramos to Casemiro. To Asensio down the right-hand side. Middlesbrough have taken the lead against Coventry as well in the Championship through Britt Assombalonga. So now all games currently being played in the Championship and the Champions League have at least a goal in them. It has to be said that there are injury problems for Real Madrid, which they may look to in trying to find an excuse for this result so far. They're missing the likes of Martin Odegaard, Nacho Fernandez, Odriozola, Danny Carvajal. So major defensive issues, especially down that right-hand side. But they've got plenty of talent to come on as well if they require it, and it does look like they require it. The likes of Eden Hazard, Isco, Jovic, Marcelo, Modric as well. Rodrigo, all players that could make a difference. Mendy finds Ramos. Tries to arrow a ball into the area. Can't find Vasquez. Headed away by Ben Sebaini. Thuram plays it back to the Algerian. His clearance will get cut out by Toni Kroos. Does well to find Asensio. Tries to get away from Neuhaus. Then Kramer has fouled Federico Valverde there. So it's going to be a free kick. It's just a clash of foots there. I don't think there was much intent from Christoph Kramer. A little bit harsh to give that as a foul, but nevertheless, looks like Luka Modric and Eden Hazard are the two players that have been stripped and ready by Zinedine Zidane. Confirm that Reading have also gone 4-2 up now against Blackburn. Still waiting confirmation on who that fourth goal scorer is, so we'll obviously give you that once it is confirmed to us. Kroos is the man standing over this free kick. Finally whips the ball in, headed away by Ben Sebaini. Will fall to Asensio, who goes for goal, and it's not a bad effort by Marco Asensio on the volley. Gets it on target, but it's a simple enough save by Jan Sommer. Maybe took a slight deflection as well off of the sliding Lars Stindl. Sommer to Ginter. There's a 1-2 with Liner. Now with Pléa. Support in Thuram down the left-hand side. He'll utilise him as well. Won't get the overlap in Ben Sebaini. Will come back to find the Algerian. Confirmed it was Lucas João that's got the fourth goal for Reading. Vinicius picks it up now for Real Madrid. It was a sloppy pass by Monchengladbach. That's gifted possession straight back to Real Madrid. Varane to Casemiro. Vasquez will now try and come forward on the right side and goes back towards Ramos. Still, Borussia Monchengladbach 2, Real Madrid 0. And after that second goal, Monchengladbach could easily have got a third. A lovely pass by Neuhaus found Alassane Plie. He got one-on-one with Thibaut Courtois. His effort, though, was well saved by the Belgian goalkeeper. Plie then played a through ball towards Lars Stindl, and his snapshot went inches wide of the right-hand post. And Real Madrid, they tried to respond. A free kick was cleared, fell to Marco Asensio. His effort on the half volley was comfortably saved by Jan Sommer. They've also brought on some attacking changes. Vinicius Jr. has come off. Eden Hazard has come on to replace him. And Luka Modric is also on to the field as well. So they're doing their best to get back into this. But at the moment, they still can't break through the Monchengladbach barrier. It's Monchengladbach 2, Real Madrid 0. Yeah, Toni Kroos is the man that's been replaced by Luka Modric. By the looks of things, also been a sub for Midtjylland. Patrick Herrmann has come on, and Marcus Thuram, the double goal scorer, is the man who is coming off. So he's got pace, Patrick Herrmann, but he is more of a midfielder rather than an attacker. So that maybe is a slightly more defensive change. Courtois with the long ball aiming towards Mendy. Here's Valverde. Mendy. Modric plays the through ball towards Benzema. News is out though, it'll be cleared away by Stindl, try and find Plie. Casemiro's there to intercept. Ramos does really well to get away from the Frenchman. Here's Vasquez, whips the ball in towards Benzema, headed away well by Liner. Neuhaus is there to help it on its way. So back to the walls job really from Borussia Monchengladbach, and they're doing very well to deflect anything that Real Madrid throw at them. Hazard with his first touches finds Modric, turns away from Kramer. Mendy, support in Modric, will pick up on the edge of the area. Modric tries to chip it over towards Vasquez. Vasquez towards the byline, puts it in a dangerous area again, but it's fallen straight to Patrick Herrmann, who will thump that ball clear. Attacks just keep on coming. Vasquez to Valverde, held up by Neuhaus. Modric, now with Eden Hazard. Dangerous cross in, headed away by Ginter. Hazard almost got on the end of it from the clearance. Modric is there to pick up. Mendy puts the ball in, headed away this time by Elvedi, only as far as Vasquez. Varane to Ramos, chips it down the line towards Mendy. Be Liner that comes over to watch him. Modric, held up by Herrmann. Back to Modric from Hazard. Cross in again, headed away by Elvedi. Be Ramos that picks us up for the Spaniards, and the attacks will keep on coming. Hazard looks for support, looks to spread it over towards Vasquez, dangerous as well. Vasquez get on the end of it, but it's cleared away by Elvedi. It was a first time pass trying to find Casemiro there after the ball by Hazard was, or took a little bit of a deflection. Ramos to Valverde, Casemiro. Now with Rafael Varane. And Ramos will break forward for Real Madrid. Long ball, Benzema will do well to keep it in play, and he has done, the Frenchman. Plays it through the legs of Valverde. Hazard with the opportunity, puts it into the side netting. That really had to go in for the Spaniards. It was a lovely pass by Benzema through the legs of Valverde. It's the clearest opportunity that they've carved out, but Hazard wasn't able to put it into the bottom corner. Really big chance that for the men in white. So goal kick now to Borussia Monchengladbach. Given away though by Benzabini. Vasquez is there to pick up, and he's surely been fouled by Jonas Hoffmann, I should say. And that is going to be a free kick for Real Madrid, in a good position to whip the ball in. Vasquez back onto his feet. Took a little bit of a knock there. It's going to be Luka Modric that comes over to take this. One of the greatest cross in though by the Croat. Now Mendy. Finding Hazard on the left hand side to Benzema on the edge of the area now. Gets away from Elvedi. Being held up well there by Neuhaus. Here's Mendy. Forced back by Hoffmann. Great defending by Monchengladbach. Mendy has found out half a yard of space though. It's a poor pass cut out by Hoffmann. Stindl will find Plie. Back to Hoffmann. Not the greatest of return passes, but it'll be picked up well though by Benzabini, who looks to spread that over towards the far side for Patrick Hoffmann. Watched by Ferland Mendy. Here is Neuhaus to Plie. Support in the area, tries to chip it in towards Hoffmann, headed away though by Rafael Varane. Casemiro helps it on his way to Benzema. Modric to Valverde. Will find Sergio Ramos, and he'll spread that over to Lucas Vasquez. Looks for support, gets it in Casemiro. Now with Modric. Hazard holds off Liner. Then Asensio's pass finds Modric. Modric goes for the chip ball over towards Asensio, who's got the pace. Will try and get around Ginter, but it's really good defending again by the German. It's been fantastic all day, Matthias Ginter. Clearance is flicked on by Ramos to find Rafael Varane. All Real Madrid players, bar Thibaut Courtois, are camping inside the Mönchengladbach half. Vasquez finds Modric. Modric now towards Benzema on the left-hand side. Hazard. Now with Benzema. Support in Mendy. Instead will go back towards Luka Modric. Valverde goes for goal as a block by Stindl. Can confirm that Man City have gone 2-0 up now against Marseille. İlkay Gündoğan getting the second there. Plie has found Stindl. The return header though is misplaced, and it's going to be easy enough for Courtois to pick up. Also confirm that Palmer has got a second goal for Swansea to make it Swansea 2, Stoke 0. Norwich have also equalised through Kevin McLean to make it Brentford 1, Norwich 1. So goals really have rained in across the leagues. Here's Elvedi for Mönchengladbach. Lovely turn by Benzabini to get away from Vasquez, and there could be an opportunity here for Mönchengladbach. Plie tries to give it back to Benzabini, who's come flying in on Casemiro there, and he's going to pick up a yellow card for the dangerous nature of that tackle, irrelevant of whether or not he got the ball. Casemiro a little bit worse for wear, but he should be okay to continue. He's a strong player. Still Borussia Monchengladbach 2, Real Madrid 0, and they've had their clearest opportunity. Lovely play by Karim Benzema to keep the ball in play on the left-hand side. Passed it into the penalty area, and it was Eden Hazard, the substitute, who tried to squeeze it in at the near post, but can only find the side netting. Mönchengladbach have made a couple of substitutions. Plie has been replaced by Breel Bolo. Herman has come on for Marcus Thuram, the double goal scorer, and Hannes Wolf has just come on for Lars Stindl for some fresh legs to chase from the front. They're doing well to keep Madrid at bay. The time is running out for Los Blancos to come back from this unlikeliest of scorelines. It's still Borussia Monchengladbach 2, Real Madrid 0. Yeah, so just to confirm, it was a Briel Mbolo, the number 36, that's come on for Alassane Plia. And it's Hannes Wolf who has replaced the captain, Lars Stindl. Headed away by Ginter to find Wolf. A man will try and break forward. There's Varane. Mbolo back towards Neuhaus. Neuhaus goes to goal, and that's going to be easily saved by Thibaut Courtois. "10 minutes to go plus any added on time. The comeback's looking less and less likely for Real Madrid. Asensio tries to break down that right-hand side. Bolo just makes a sloppy foul there. So Madrid will come forward again. Here's Mendy to Sergio Ramos. Mendy trying to find Modric, is completely misplaced though, and that's going to go out of play for a throw-in. They're just bereft of ideas at the moment, Real Madrid. And although they've had all the possession, for their defensive work rate and the clinicality on the breakaway, I think Monchengladbach have been deserving of the very least a point. Maybe a 2-0 scoreline could be deemed as harsh, but Madrid just have not had any cutting edge going forward. Vázquez finds Sergio Ramos. Modric outside the boot pass to find Benzema, will hold off Elvedi. Back towards Hazard, then Modric was accidentally blocked off by the referee. He hasn't stopped play, instead Mbolo will break forward now for Monchengladbach down the right. Lays it off for Herman, away from Casemiro, and almost broke away from Sergio Ramos. Casemiro's there to recover, and will now find Eden Hazard, who finds Marco Asensio down the right wing. Hold up by Neuhaus. Hazard, has he been fouled by Kramer? He has. That's going to be a free kick for Real Madrid. 82 minutes gone. Looks like Zidane is trying to get his substitutes ready for another roll of the dice. Vázquez finds Hazard, appealing for a handball. Nothing given, and Mbolo will break forward for Monchengladbach. He plays the ball forward, trying to find Herman. It's misplaced though. And Real Madrid will pick up possession again. Varane to Modric. Manchester City have gone 3-0 up now against Marseille. Raheem Sterling getting the third. Middlesbrough also went 2-0 up late on through Spence. Can confirm that the games in the Championship have now all finished. So it finished Blackburn 2, Reading 4, Brentford 1, Norwich 1. Middlesbrough 2, Coventry 0, Swansea 2, Stoke 0, and Wickham 1, Watford 1. Rodrigo has come onto the field for Real Madrid, and it's Marco Asensio that has made way. On clearance, which Janus Wolf will get on the end of. Can't get away from Valverde or Vázquez. The throw-in is poor. It's gifted straight possession straight back to Borussia Monchengladbach. Just wonder how Real Madrid are going to overturn this deficit now to get out of their group. Here's Benzibani. Loses out to Modric. It's been hauled back there by Neuhaus, who is going to go into the referee's notebook as well. Yellow cards coming out again for Orel Grinfeld. I think it's just very tactical fouls now from Borussia Monchengladbach just to halt any and all attacks. Casemiro to Varane. Chip ball towards Ramos, who's gone forward for Madrid. Cleared away. Herman just holds on to possession, rolls it back towards Liner. 1-2 with Kramer. Liner will turn away from the man. Ramos is acting as an auxiliary striker at the moment. Ball goes back towards Sommer. Now with Ginter. Goes long trying to find Mbolo. His header needs Casemiro, but he was just pushing into the Brazilian there. It's a free kick for Real Madrid. Porto are now 2-0 up against Olympiacos. Sergio Oliveira getting the second there for the Portuguese side. Modric away from Mbolo. Finds Sergio Ramos. Back now towards Mendy. Are they going to start putting the ball into the box more now that Ramos and Benzema are both there? Hazard being held up by Liner, trying to find half a yard of space. Will spread that over towards Lucas Vazquez. Vazquez now towards Rodrigo. Look to break down the line. Turns inside, then puts the ball in. Awkward clearance by Ginter. Then Herman will find Yannis Wolf. Wolf goes back towards Liner. He'll be pressurised by Sergio Ramos. It's a good play that by the Real Madrid captain to force Liner out and win a throw-in for his side. Mendy keeps it in play, chips it over to Sergio Ramos, trying to find Benzema, cleared away by Elvedi. Tired legs now for Monchengladbach. Vazquez, Rodrigo to Modric on the right hand side, finding Valverde. He'll break into a dangerous area, tries to chip it into the area, headed back down. Benzema, he's put it into the back of the net. Did the ball go out of play? Doesn't look like the linesman has given it. So maybe, just maybe, there is a chance of Madrid getting a point from this game. It was a brilliant knockdown, I think, by Varane at the back post. The ball was put in by Valverde. Oh, is it out? It's really hard to tell from that angle. It's a brilliant goal, though, by Benzema. It was Casemiro that nodded it down, and Benzema run a bit of an overhead kick. Fired it in, nothing really Sommer could do there, but maybe there is a comeback on the cards. It's Borussia Monchengladbach 2, Real Madrid 1. Maybe there's a comeback still on here. A ball whipped into the area by Valverde, nodded down by Casemiro. It fell to Karim Benzema, who managed to turn it in with an overhead kick past Jan Sommer into the roof of the net. There's still around 3 minutes remaining, plus any added on time for stoppages for Madrid to get at least a point from this game. There's going to be attack after attack, you feel. It's Borussia Monchengladbach 2, Real Madrid 1. Rodrigo for Real Madrid. Trying to chip it over towards Valverde. He loses possession, and Bolo's the man that will break forward for Mönchengladbach. Spreads it over towards Patrick Herman. Gets away from one. Finds Wolf, who tries to find Mbolo. There's going to be a foul anyway. Casemiro came in on Herman, so it'll be a free kick. Casemiro will also go into the referee's notebook as well, because they waited a 3-on-1 opportunity there, did Mönchengladbach. It was a sloppy sliding tackle by the Brazilian. Free kick here. I'm not sure if they'll go for goal or maybe just focus on trying to hold on to possession. It's Benzibani, the man that's standing over this. He's eyeing up the goal, so he may be going for it to kill it off. Benzibani and I think Kramer now standing over it. They're appealing that the wall isn't too far back. Just a bit of a time wasting, really. Bensebaini goes for it, and well, that is an awful free kick from Bensebaini. Way over the crossbar. Nowhere near testing Thibaut Courtois. Valverde to Casemiro, finding Modric. Varane and Ramos are both forward for the Spaniards. And there's been a late goal for Atlético Madrid against Salzburg, so it's now 3-2 to Atlético. João Felix getting the third there, but Madrid have been dispossessed in this one with Hoffman. Has he been fouled by Valverde? He hasn't. Casemiro's kept it in play. He's found Rodrigo. He can't get away from Neuhaus, and then it's given away by Wolf. And now Madrid come forward. 4 minutes shown of added time at the end of this one. Hazard will try and break away from Herman. Finds Benzema. He will spread that for Valverde. Leaves it for Casemiro. Back to Valverde. Vasquez floats it long, trying to find Hazard. Headed away by Liner. All the ball and all the pressure is with Real Madrid. Look at the replay of the Real Madrid goal. Casemiro definitely keeps it in play. It's a really good nod down by the Brazilian. Ball whipped in by Rodrigo, headed away by Valverde to Varane. Benzema tries to get on the end of it. Cleared away by Valverde and then by Kramer. Vasquez is the man that mops up for Real Madrid. Casemiro. Back to Lucas Vasquez. He goes down under the tackle by Hannes Wolf. It'll be a free kick right on the halfway line. Casemiro. Two and a half minutes remain. Rodrigo back to Vasquez. They're on the halfway line. They need to get further forward, Real Madrid. Modric away from Embolo. Has he been bundled over there by the Swiss forward? He has. Modric then shoves Neuhaus in the back in order to get the ball as quick as possible. Modric takes the quick free kick to Vasquez. Plays it down the line towards Rodrigo. Rodrigo will play it back towards Vasquez. He'll try and get the ball in. It's a poor cross. Smothered away by Bensebaini. Casemiro was there to find Varane. Now with Hazard. Spreads it to Modric. Support on the right with Lucas Vasquez. Here is Vasquez. Being held up by Hoffman. Back towards Modric. Modric towards the back post. Ramos nods it down. Casemiro! They have equalised right at the death. With a minute and a half remaining. It's a similar goal to how they got there first. A ball crossed in, nodded down at the back post. And it's Casemiro this time to finish off the job. It is now Monchengladbach 2, Real Madrid 2. Well, the comeback has been made. It's Borussia Monchengladbach 2, Real Madrid 2. A ball whipped in by Luka Modric, nodded down by Sergio Ramos, and it's Casemiro to thump it into the top right-hand corner inside the 6-yard box. It's very similar to their first goal, and it's obviously a case that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They've got, well, it looks like they've got at least a point from this game. Is their time to get a late winner. 2-2. Still under a minute remaining in this one. Surely not another twist. Surely not. Casemiro to Vasquez. Modric. Finds Hazard. Gets away from Hoffman. Mendy will try and get the ball in. Great tackle by Stefan Liner. Liner will play that down the line for Hannes Wolf. Inside for Hoffman. Hoffman, they may go for a winner here. Poor pass though by Hoffman. Well, but they've given it away, and there's an opportunity now for Monchengladbach. Hoffman Tries to find Embolo, who didn't react in time. And it doesn't look like there's going to be enough time either. The final whistle has been blown, and they've managed to pull a point from the jaws of defeat. The final score is Borussia Monchengladbach 2, Real Madrid 2, and we'll see you in the next one.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so